Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Riverside once again for race number 24 of the NRSL Cook Vanilla Cup Series for the 2008 season. And alongside me once again is Stephen Paul III and Austin LaPlante.
Hello, guys.
Happy post-Christmas Day.
Yep, it is December 27th for those that are watching this live or at least on the same day that it got posted. If you missed the duels, then you missed an absolute stunner as Matt Duncan qualified his number 6 AAA Ford on the pole, and Will Lewis made just the second race of the season for the 05 S3 Motorsports team, and also ended up winning Duel 2. Winner of Duel 1 was Tristan Wilhoit, and he will start in row 2 alongside William Brock. Max Anderson and the defending champion Mark George will make up row 3 with Tim Randolph, Jack James in row 4. It's been a while since I've done that mistake. Algie Baranowskis and Time Pollard make up row number 5. Here's the rest of the starting grid as I hand it over to Steven and Austin for their thoughts and predictions.
Austin.
Okay, well, if you see the duos, typical pit stops, unless you're extending it, will be a lap between laps 7 and 8, and hopefully these guys learn how to slow down entering pit road. The S's were not the major part. I'm going to let Steven talk after the command, but I'm just going to straddle on until we get to 5 minutes, which is right now.
Drivers, start your engines!
Okay, command has been given.
All right, so few stories to look out for this race. William Brock got his best career finish. Look for him to be the dark horse stay into the race. Will Lewis, who's starting second, Stephen Paul the third, and Dylan Young, who DNQ'd are the 3-4 winners here. We could have a repeat or a new winner. 117 points separate the 12 and the 60 for the final chase grid. And Johnny Gardner, 388 points in a backup car after flipping Austin over, has to get into the top 10 to keep his chase alive.
I'm still furious about.
Can he drive up through the field and keep his chase hopes alive with 29th in the points DQing as we come down to the green flag?
For me, I hope not.
And we are green for the Kobe Bryant 248.
It will be a tribute on lap 8. That's why the race is 24 laps long. 6 cars coming down the inside. He's going to get it, but that 05 car was dominant in the duels.
Actually, it's kind of a funny coincidence as Will Lewis already grabbing the race lead away. Brock's going to go to second. How far back does Matt Duncan fall?
Well, now remember, Max Anderson flipped in this part of the track after starting in the front of the
Oh, Mark George goes wide. He's going to save it somehow.
Mark George wheeling that car.
Tim Randolph makes the dive for it.
If they collided.
Did the rest of the field survive? They did.
Even on green white back here. Still
Mark George power slide that corner.
As, 3 wide, Chris Wilson diving it in, trying to make moves towards the front.
Well, he was listening to the best cars, but I was surprised.
Also, a storyline I didn't hear Pollard mention, revolving around the 08 car, actually, for this race, as Mary Shelley can clinch the regular season title in today's race.
Now, why that is big is we have 13 spots on the grid. Now, if we get over 3 more winners, which we only have
14 on the grid right now with a win.
We only have 2 more races, so we get a new winner, and Mary can't fall out, and that's going to hurt somebody in the chase. It's my guard, Tristan Willow.
I think that was... Oh, Adam Flickinger hard in the wall, and around it goes!
That's
saved.
What a job by the rest of the field to miss the 12, and a great job to collect that thing.
And guess what? Who's right next to him? The guy who's trying to beat in the points, Jeffrey White.
Someone was off. It might have been the 7. I don't quite know for sure.
God, they are wheeling these cars, man. They are racing aggressive. We got 3 races to the chase, for God's sake.
So the keys for Mary Shelley was she has to beat the 7 of Henry Sanford by 7 points. Right now, that difference is 9, as it's 3 spots on the racetrack. Actually, it could be 4. So that's 12 points. For Chris Wilson has to gain 8 points on the 08 car to get back within the magic 296. And Max Anderson is, I think that's 16 points off of 296.
Now, you know what? I got to say something. It doesn't matter. With this winning format, Max Anderson, who won it, Barber, and Road America, is third right now. That Furniture Row 87 team have got some stout road course cars. I'll tell you that much.
As here comes Seth Cole trying to take the fight to the
Second
08.
place.
Adam McDowell
20
might
got
have...
hit.
Or sorry, Derek Hamill. I'm
Sorry.
thinking 44. My gosh. Wow.
20 crashed off the first. He was right behind the leader. Now he's 4 seconds back. Something happened to him up there.
As speaking of Adam McDowell, Baranowskis all over the back of that 44
Oh.
Toyota.
Hey,
As
we
there's
talked
a
about
line of
McDowell.
4 Toyotas right now. Will Hoyt, winner of Duel 1, 3 wide with Mark
wide,
George and
3
Tim
wide, I don't
Randolph.
like this. I don't
That
like
didn't work
this.
with Logan York and
Oh
Steven
my
Paul the third.
God! How did
And
it
it's
work?
somehow going to work.
That worked.
Contact.
Mark George with
Where's
damage on the left
contact?
side of his car. I think Kenny Moma might have gotten the wall off the, I guess the hairpin if you want to call it that.
Well, Adam McDowell finished 4th last weekend for his best career finish, so he's up here right now.
Although if he did, no damage, but he did lose a few spots. There's the damage to Derek Hamill's car after he hit the wall. Will Lewis,
Max
though, out
Anderson-
to a 1.24 second lead over Max Anderson
Will Lewis was the inaugural winner here. Whoa, my lord.
as Tim Randolph trying to take a peek at the 99 as Will Hoyt Will Hoyt loses the nose. Here comes Randolph. This is the battle for 4th. Or for 5th?
On the other flip,
Yes,
on the other flip of the coin, Randolph should have 2 road course wins this year, but
Oh,
bad luck
shush.
prevailed him as they're going to die right here.
As 3
Somehow.
wide again,
Oh, boy.
Randolph, Will Hoyt, and Time Pollard. Time Pollard doesn't know any better.
They're going to squeeze each other.
Oh, wow.
my God.
Oh, trouble.
Oh!
That's a
Alger
44.
Baranowskis
No,
in the 11 got spun by the 00, and they're still wrecking in front of him.
Big wreck, big
Isaac
wreck.
Flickinger, Zach
There
Rogers,
was some-
Kenny Moma's in it.
There was someone else.
Oh, God.
Adam
I
Flickinger's
think that's the
got
01.
piece.
The 01, I think.
Gardner's going to escape.
Oh,
through
Kenny
this.
Moma got
Oh,
stuck in the
Gardner-
ditch. Pretty Shaw's got damaged. Henry
Gardner
Williams
got-
stuck behind this.
Oh, more
Oh,
wrecking.
the teammates wrecked.
Team failure.
Well, the Canadian Tire winners
Jessica
going up to
Shelton with
21.
damage. Oh, she's out of the race. So troubles for the
Oh,
21 car as well, as Shelton will be the first car out of the race.
27 got major damage too in that.
That's unfortunate for Ethan Katiman, who's trying to gain. He's only in this race trying to gain points on Randolph, so that's not going to help his cause.
No. Yeah. Oh,
As
87.
Will
I
Lewis
don't
got the
get
wall
that.
off the final corner. Damage to
Yeah,
the
they
Stater
can't-
Brothers Chevy now. Will that affect him?
Did you get a hammer for Christmas, Charles? You're going to have to beat that damage out.
As Time Pollard, Adam
go right
McDowell battle for the 8th position now on the racetrack.
Yep, that's a good battle right there.
That'll go to Time Pollard.
good
Seth
fire.
Cole trying to take the 10th spot away from Jack James in the 28.
Hey, Seth Cole's up here. That's nice to see. He's been DNQing a lot lately.
As Alexander Rowe also
Yeah,
trying to
sorry,
fend off from the 08. And
Jack
actually going to
James.
attack Jack James. James
the
got the wall off the turn 5.
I
think-
think. No, I think that's turn 6.
We'll have
That's
to count
his
it at some
turn.
point.
28's gonna lose
As
it.
Jack James now going to lose a spot also to not only Alexander Rowe, but also looks like to Mary Shelley. Fitzwater has damage to the left side of his Pennzoil Chevy.
Yeah, Fitzwater's been on a tear lately in all the series, so.
Oh, trouble! Whoa! Derek
Uh,
Hamill lost the motor or something on the 00 now.
Somebody's about to be losing their front end.
I guess that's
You-
just side effects of the damage. I don't know. Chris Wilson,
it's
though,
Mark-
up to 28th after having to start out back in 41st
Yep,
after
so that's
losing the
good for him.
gearbox. Robert Pollard up to 27th, it appears.
Yep.
Although now
James
got the
Dixon.
wall. Same did the 22. Matt Dixon's going to try and look for 24th spot away from Jeffrey White, though. Battle between two cars trying to point their way into the owner's chase.
Yep, due to injuries and stuff like that. But how many? I think there's a lot of people out of the race. I think the 27's out, the 2 is definitely out, the 12's out.
The 2 is
Choose.
out with clutch. 00 is now going to be out. 10 could return, but they just got stuck in the ditch.
Gardner's 37th. That is not what he needs. He needs to gain at least 150 points to stay eligible.
to stay reasonably eligible. I think. Well, I said 296. That's if you. That's the most points you could gain by making a race, like inside of a single race. As Matt Dixon now taking the fight to the 16. I think because of where he's at, you look at the 184. It's going to be a lot higher number. I don't know what the 184 times 2 is, though, off the top of my head.
You're running that. Seth Cole is up. No, that's the 6. Sorry, there was a pass up there.
Sky Commons defends from the 75. Here comes Chris Wilson now, going to take 27th away. So Wilson slowly moving his way up through the field. Oh, Ryan George got the wall.
Yeah, that's the trouble spots. The real trouble spots.
As the gap is closing up front, Zorline with damage. Steve Pollard has damage as well.
Yeah, that's all the turn 9 wall right there.
Whoa, Zorline.
Well, I mean, I get that, and I'm not going to be upset about an extended stay for some cars on pit lane. What I'm going to be upset about is if we see evidence of them coming back to pit lane. Cole Deaver with damage to the right side of his car. So that means he's actually been hit.
Will Lewis's last cup win in Bristol last year. In the
turn 3-4 instant, probably.
Yeah,
I think I remember.
Will won in the no passing Bristol 75 lap race last year, so he was able to pull that one out.
Abrahamian makes that move look easy. That was for 17th spot. As the gap continues to close, it's now down to 1.1 seconds as Mary Shelley looking for 11th on Alexander Rowe. Seth Cole just got the wall in front of him. McDowell, I think, did as well.
Actually, he's able to win this. He's the new road course veteran of the series.
It's funny is I don't think road course is his best stat, but he's slowly becoming an expert at them.
Yeah, 2 wins already this year. I'm not sure I ran it. Well, I can check, actually. Seth Cole, who's been struggling mighty, he's kind of ruining the 5. No top 5s this year after they've had a...
Well, I mean, he's still not in the top 5 as Fitzwater takes a peek at Mary Shelley. Nothing more than a peek, though.
78's trying to make the top 30 in the Owners' Championship, so that's big for them to running up here. Amy, she did good early in the season, and the summer months have been a struggle for Amy.
Well, really, actually, the fall months, because, I mean, there's a good start to the summer months. As there's Will Lewis. The gap's still closing. It's what it seems, at least, between the 05 and the 87.
Yeah, and you also think of the pitch strategy here.
Well, that's going to be an issue for Gardner, actually. No hood on the 25.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Gardner.
No love lost there from the 46 team from the sidelines. Gap actually extended up front as Mark George, Matt Duncan battle for 4th.
I'm guessing he'll probably do lap 11 at least.
Matt Duncan's best career finish is 4th. So this is good. Well, he just got past there, so.
Well, yeah. So now back to 5th. I would assume what the teams are going to try to do is get to lap 12. In all honesty.
If we look at the thing, Duncan only has 1 top 5 and 1 top 10 to his career, so this is actually a big improvement right now.
19 with an extended stay on pit lane. Well, that's why.
Out.
The 10 actually did retire. Fuel leak on the 00.
The 12 is still out there. I don't know how good he's going to be.
I don't know either. We can probably check. Let's see.
He's still out there? Is that it?
Yeah.
Trying to get those championship points. Will Lewis, Magic gets screwed up by lap cars?
Oh, that would be the Fitzy way of going about it, wouldn't it? As Pretty Shaw now trying to take a spot away from Johnny Gardner.
Yeah, something, like I said, something happened to the 20. He was on the back bumper. He must have got the wall or something. Then now there's 7 seconds back. This is not what Will Lewis wants to see.
Well, Gardner now gets passed by the 01, so now that will set the 01 free from the slow down 25 car. As Duncan now continues to try and hold off from the 60 at Tim Randolph.
Yeah, Randolph, Road America happened, and then Sonoma got taken out by Jessica as a lap car there. So he's had chances to win races, but he just hasn't, besides Indy, he just hasn't pulled it off.
Well, sometimes it was circumstances, sometimes it was our own issues, and yeah.
Well, Tim Randolph and Emmanuel Gonzalez are sharing a beer together, so.
As looks like the next best battle on track right now would be Seth Cole, Adam McDowell, and maybe even Alexander Rowe if you want to throw them in there.
Yeah, I don't think Seth has won in a road course in the top 3 series. Obviously, I can check that, but I'm pretty positive.
75 has fallen back to 29th as there are just as 36 cars running. Seth Cole now got a run on the 44.
Trying to battle Adam McDowell right here. The 5-car won the championship. No, driver won it, and they made the chase last year, but didn't win the championship.
And Seth's going to take a peek here on the 44. Look at the job that Seth Cole did on middle of the corner there.
Veteran driver right there. That's how you get it done right there. There's a pass up there, too.
Looks like there's a pass behind this. We'll check in on that. Amy Shelley battling Mary Shelley around the outside of turn 1. Meanwhile,
And
Adam
big
McDowell
ball
gets
Seth
forced
with
out
Right,
wide.
President.
Oh, Matt Duncan!
Oh, Duncan.
No! Oh, from 5th spot. You hate to see it.
If you're William Duncan, yes.
Oh, so troubles for the 6 of Matt Duncan. That car off the pace as well. There's more issues besides just the damage, it looks like. Oh,
Yeah,
Matt
he's
Dixon
gone.
goes wide.
Dixon's going to save it.
Chris
we'll just
Wilson's
make sure we
going to love
record
that.
the,
That's another
Yeah,
free
little-
spot. As Matt Duncan with serious issues, but besides just getting spun there on the 6.
Well, the hood's crinkled, so.
Well, anytime you're slower than the 75 down a straight line, you got something wrong.
I can't deny that. So that means JT Bryant doesn't deserve to be in the chase.
Well, there might have been other things that went on with the 42 there.
You know,
Oh,
when
Cole
those
Deaver
open-
throws a block on James Qualls.
Yeah, he said, take that Johanna Logan Crown Royal out of here. And he just shot him off right there.
Although, I
Not
mean,
fun.
33, you can see the damage
Yeah, he's
is
forcing him to
definitely
the wall.
affecting it. As
He's
Qualls
forcing him
just
to the
drives
wall,
him,
pit
pit
stop.
stop
There we
starting.
go. Claws, you can't pit there. Oh, wait.
Well, he didn't want to pit and takes care of business there. Looks like none of the leaders pit as William Duncan takes 13th away from his teammate.
Yeah. Peter on Jack missed the race, so sorry, Fitz. I mean, he did start in Park Venzel Arena, so.
As Gardner has been lapped, so Baranowskis was pitting, so was Keidemann, Sanford, Pollard, Dixon, Jeffrey White, Zorline, Henry Sanford, McDowell at the very
18
least.
with damage.
As we'll see if Will Lewis is going to... Now, the issue there was they were pitting lap 11 on to 12, so I don't know if they're going to be able to make it to the end.
Oh, well, Lewis is trying to do
05's
the
gonna
same.
stay out on number.
No,
never mind.
05
He's gonna-
pits, 87's going to
Gardner's
pit.
wall riding.
Yeah. Brock will pit this time around. We saw some interesting pit strategies in the duels. Doesn't look like we're going to see as many here, although I say that Emmy Shelley is going to be the first one to definitely stay out. William Duncan also stays out that extra lap.
Well, trying to get those 5 bonus points, they're trying
Yeah.
to make the 70 in the chase.
Well, it didn't quite work out that way. 78 did not get the points for leading a lap. Those still went to the 05. So the 05 guaranteeing at least a share of the most laps led bonus today. Baranowskis also, I think, staying out? Or was that
Is the
from...
05 getting...
No, Baranowskis
the
put
05
the last
fixed
time
damage.
around. Never mind.
Yeah, the 05 is fixing damage. So that's gonna hold them up.
Well, there's a... Who isn't fixing damage? As
Anderson.
Max Anderson was first off pit lane, then Will Hoyt, then Randolph, then Will Lewis.
The choke.
Abrahamian also going to try and battle the 05 car off of pit lane.
I hate to see it.
I mean, it was almost going to be self-explanatory that was probably going to happen. The 05 team hasn't made a whole lot of pit stops this year.
They haven't done a lot of anything this year. As I think the 87 is leading.
No, 78 would still be leading because they haven't pit yet.
Oh my. That's whatever.
So, wrong furniture, Roche Chevy.
They both have the same notes.
As Adam Flickinger now leaves pit lane, William Duncan also will pit. That kind of helps confirm that. So Baranowskis had already pit. Anderson trying to lap the 6.
road course ringer Max Anderson. I met, Max Anderson won a Hooters race at Canadian Tire, so he loves the road courses.
Oh, nearly contact with the 6 of Matt Duncan. Duncan fighting back. Not going to be able to hold it in there, though, as they go through turn 1.
Man, when we go to Cleveland in the chase, I already know who I'm going to Vegas with.
Well, by the way, you were mentioning the 5 bonus points. The 78 was able to get 5 bonus points for leading a lap.
That's big, because 30th and Nona points did not make the race.
Meanwhile, Anderson, by looking at timing and scoring, has an 11-second lead over Tristan Wilhoit.
You know why he has 11-second lead? He did not hit the wall. That's why I said he preserved the car. He's really becoming a good road course. He's the Chase Elliott of the series.
Tim Randolph looks to be 3rd. Abrahamian 4th. Will Lewis is back in 5th and has already hit the wall again.
Well, Will's
Amy
trying so hard
Shelley
to get
through
up
this strategy, though, up to 6th.
Oh, man, that's some great strategy there.
William Brock is 7th. Mark George 8th. James Qualls is 9th. And Time Pollard looks to be in 10th, unless I missed someone. Actually, you know what? Let's let this cycle around a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, just let it cycle through. Don't.
As Brock maybe is trying to take a spot away from the 78, gets cut off there, but will he try the crossover? Or the bump and run, one or the other. Here comes Brock.
Whoa.
Cleared him easily.
Birch Rolka pretty good too.
Oh, but then Brock hits the wall. So Amy Shelley then gets that spot back. Oh, Gardner just came off pit lane. Brock had to get out of it there. That was the battle for 6th, though. Okay, so I was right. So Stephen Pollard 3rd is 11th. Seth Cole is now in 12th. Adam McDowell 13th. Alexander Rowe, William Duncan, Mary Shelley top 16. Henry Sanford is 17th. So right now the difference would only be 3 points, and the gap would be 292.
That's huge.
Meaning that the points battle would still at least go another race before Mary Shelley clinching her spot. Fitzwater is in 18th. Zorline is 19th. Gene Sanford 20th. Jack James actually has grabbed 21st away from Steve Pollard. Matt Dixon, Jeffrey White, JT Bryant, Chris Wilson is 26th, so a good recovery effort there. Ryan George, Cole Deaver, Henry Williams, Ethan Keideman is in 30th. Robert Pollard, Sky Commons, Algebra Baranowskis is 33rd. Adam Flickinger is a lot down in 37th, almost 2 down. Matt Duncan, Pretty Shaw, also 1 lap down. And then, obviously, Johnny Gardner as well. But it is a 12.5-second lead for Max Anderson.
Are we sure we didn't put somebody in the wrong spot so we can redo it? I mean, oh, wait.
As
Delon Abrahamian 4th, that's a great run for him. He has never won before in the series. Best finished a 2nd at Coca-Cola. So that's
and this
a great
was
run
a
by
driver that at one point this season was looking like they had a shot to maybe make the chase. It has fallen off on hard times very much recently. In fact, comes into this race 44th in the points. And at one point, like I said, was top 20.
Yeah, and like a mirror image of last year because Muhammad Zanadul fell off a cliff after race 13.
This one was a little bit past race 13, but just there was a point when they started DNQing and just could not get back on form after it, really. Wilhoit, I think, got the wall. Meanwhile, Matt Duncan tried to take the fight to Pretty Shaw for 34th. Our Pretty Shaw just passed. I think it's actually the opposite way around there.
I think so, yeah.
What we've had? We've had, 5 road courses? This is the 5th one this year?
It sounds about right.
So minus Thornton, Anderson finished 34th. He finished 4th at most sports, and he has 2 wins at the other 2 road courses. He has been unbelievable at these tracks.
Well, truth be told, actually, you have better access to the sheet. I would freeze my game. I would freeze the picture on my game if I tried to look up the sheet.
Oh, my bad. There was another one. He finished 13th at Finion, but still, that's not a bad run with this.
Worst finish at 13th, I think, is what I heard on there for the road courses this season.
Yes.
And looking at a third win.
Yep. Well,
I-
he did finish 34th at Thornton, but I mean, I'm talking about like the pure road courses. That's what
Oh,
I'm
well,
saying.
okay, true.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Rowe is watching this, but I think the main driver is Rowe for him. But if it's not already, you might just consider switching Anderson's best stat to road course.
You might just put Anderson in the F1 league because he might dominate that.
As Amy Shelley now trying to lap the 25 of Gardner, so Gardner just kind of in people's way now at this point.
You know, what's more impressive, too, about Anderson, he won, like I mentioned, at Canadian Tire. So this would be a fourth different kind of configuration he's won.
And we've got the battle for second is growing, as we've now got a 3-car fight for it, as I think Wilhoit might have gotten held up by his own teammate.
Well, I mean, for Randolph, the 21's out, so he doesn't have to worry about getting taken out this time.
Well, I mean, Anderson winning wouldn't hurt because... Actually, Anderson... I didn't even mention this one, but I don't remember what the position was. But if Jonathan Zorline could have scored 88 points, regardless of who won, he will have clinched a spot in the chase. But if Anderson wins, I'm pretty sure he clinches a spot anyway, because then that moves that bubble down to Tim Randolph.
Well, Anderson Anderson will have 3 wins then.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm meaning. It's not a new winner.
That's
Oh, Randolph in the wall.
Here comes
the one.
The 05's getting passed by the 6 back there.
Or I think actually the 05 is trying to pass the 6 is what it was. Oh, Randolph now loses a ton of ground, so Ebrahimian now up to 3rd. He's going to set his sights now on the 99. And now can Will Lewis try and chase down the 60?
Now, the 99 would be big because Wilhoit is not anywhere. He's actually 12th in the points, I think, right? Or 11th?
He's 10th in points coming in. Let's see. I think he was trying to chase down the 16.
Yeah.
So the difference coming in was 166. So he wasn't going to be able to make it up in one race. But he's running second. He hasn't gotten a bonus point for leading lap, mind you. But Jeffrey White still running back in 25th. So a lot of points gained there for Wilhoit if he can hang on to second. But that's right now a big ask, though, because Delon Ebrahimian is definitely quicker than the 99. And that's not going to help. Oh, well, he kept it out of the wall.
That's good. Yeah,
Barely.
Here it goes. It's going to get down.
But here comes Ebrahimian around the outside of the 99. And he's going to have the inside line. Mind you, these two, even while doing this, are catching the race leader. Anderson, a minute 17.7. These guys ran about the same. Actually, sorry, minute 16 was theirs.
Now, Delon, even if he wins, that's not going to affect Jay's pace below Matt Duncan.
Not right away.
The person who needs to get that win is Wilhoit, because if he wins, that's going to shake more things up.
Well, yeah, because I don't know where the 99 stood on the owner's chase, but I think 99 on the owner's chase was a lot closer to the 16 than on drivers.
Yeah. Red Bull's 9th and 10th. James Qualls is 8th. That's a good run for Qualls.
That's actually...
We haven't seen him in the top 10 this much.
They've passed someone then. They passed, I think, McDowell. Yeah. I think McDowell's falling back. Someone is back here. Mary Shelley still runs in 14th, so solid effort, but not going to be enough right now, though, because only would gain 3 points. Although, truth be told, I don't think it was going to be enough anyway with Anderson leading.
Now, like I said,
wow. Not what Mary Shelley wanted going into the final corner.
Like I said, if the 87 can hold on, I'm betting him to win at Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Are you allowed to do that?
I can't because he keeps winning. William Duncan murders the wall back there.
Duncan might have. Alexander Rowe might have as well. Fitzwater might have gone into it. I don't know. I don't think we've had as many issues with the pit lane as we did in the duels. So I really don't know what happened with the duels. We just got like really unlucky or something. Yeah, that or something with the number of laps and the fuel usage. I don't know. As Amy Shelley now has caught the 05 for 5th.
I gotta say, Max Anderson, he flipped in like the first S's part of here last year. So that's some
Robert
great
Pollard has
redemption,
gone a
too.
lap down.
That's
Apparently.
not surprising.
I don't know quite what happened there, but Adam Flickinger now has officially gone 2 laps down as well.
Yeah, because here comes the one. DeLon finished second to Zach Rogers this year. I think he has another second place too. So
Now, does DeLon Ebrahimian play a little bit nicer with the 01 this time around? We saw the 1 turn the 01 in the duels. Oh, Amy Shelley got the wall. 75 pancaked it.
Yeah, we can't afford that damage. We're going to have to roll up a backup.
Roll the backup for what?
The right side's too damaged. We don't have enough hammers.
As Ebrahimian, the gap down to 11 seconds, but way too much time to only be gaining a second a lap.
Anderson could just coast. Anderson should just like lift halfway through the corner and still win this race.
He probably could. As William Brock was on pit lane.
Oh, that's a tough break for Brock.
Oh, so maybe that's what happened to the 75.
Whoa, 16 just got the nose taken off.
Lost a spot there to Ryan George.
Ryan George is definitely not in the Jackson Hewitt dancing commercial.
Chris Wilson up to 20th now.
That's his job this season. He just makes what he pour out. He blew the engine in the duels. Good recovery for them. Rowe, good recovery after DQing last week. The first time the 15 misses it's done 6 Daytona 500.
Fitzwater having to navigate a lap car. That's name a more iconic duo.
Most recent winner, Zachary Fitzwater in the Cup Series. Looks like it's going to change in about 2 laps. 9 seconds. Did he pit?
No.
Man, the
I
one
don't
car
think
drove the
so.
wheels
No,
off
but that
thing.
car just definitely has. It's definitely doesn't have the same pace that we thought it would have. But I mean, he's going to get help from the fact that the one has to navigate his own teammate, the lap car of Pretty Shaw.
Yep, yeah, 2 fingers were out, by the way, for 2 laps ago, coming the white this time.
Yep.
Before Sacco's going to be in the Cup car next weekend at this rate.
Meanwhile, Will Lewis caught behind the 75 and the 12. As this is the best battle on track right now. It's the 60 and the 99. The battle for third between Tim Randolph and Tristan Wilhoit.
Name a more iconic duo, the 75 and the 05.
I just realized we never went silent on lap 8.
We didn't. Oops.
Well, we're silent in
But
our
we
hearts.
still did for him on a year that should just be forgotten forever.
2008, yes. 6. Well, we swore in Obama, you know, that's why.
The white hanky.
As here comes Randolph looking for third spot as Randolph has to pick coming to the white.
Oh, the Anderson pit. The Anderson pit. Nope, he didn't. Did he?
Nope, he's good. As Ebrahimian now
That's
finally gets
unbelievable.
around the 01. Fuel, though, an issue apparently late.
That's a tough break.
Oh,
No,
Tim
never mind.
Randolph has to pick coming to the white flag.
Anyone
And I
else?
don't think anyone... Well,
Yep.
Seth Cole did as well as Zorline.
Well, that's big for Zorline right there.
That's going to be 6 extra points for the 22. Ryan
Ryan
George also has to
that's
pick.
huge.
Henry Williams
Wow.
pit coming to the white.
27 to 20.
Yep.
No,
Heiderman
no,
had to
never.
pit.
Now we see coming back here, Max Anderson.
He could pick.
I mean,
He could pick coming to the checkered and still win.
Still, Max Anderson, 3 road. He
can
won at
pull-
Barber, Road America. He won at Canada last year in the Hooter Series. 4 different road courses.
He's out of fuel!
Max Anderson.
I think he's out of
Wait,
fuel.
what?
Wait,
He's out. Nope. Is he?
I don't
He's
know.
gonna
He's
make
gonna coast though to the line. The car slowed weirdly in the final corner, but Anderson wins the Kobe Bryant 248.
4 different configuration. There he goes. 4th win in touring win for Anderson. 4 different road courses. The willpower of the series.
I thought I'll be honest. I thought he was
Engine
running
may
out
have shut
because
off,
the
like,
car
slightly, then turned back on.
the car looked like it was slowing abnormally.
You almost scared me there.
Oh, wow, Tim. Wow, that was unbelievable. Max Anderson, he is ready for the road courses in the chase. I think we got Cleveland and then Muscat. He's going to win them all, it looks like.
As Ryan George trying to navigate around the 87 because he's still trying to actually finish this race. As
Mary
actually, he
Shelley
might
pulls
actually
over the
get
top
passed
10.
for position by Henry Williams. This
Yeah,
would be a
that's
battle for
interesting.
position if George can't get around the
Oh, guys,
87.
blocking. 87.
Here comes Ryan George just got. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Have you seen that before? I've never seen that happen before.
That paint scheme is so ugly it deserves to get blocked.
As Keiderman as well. I don't think McDowell's going to be able to catch the 49.
I think that's. I gotta see that. I think that's Amy Shelley's first top 5 that she had to win this year. It is.
Yeah. It's also only the 4th top 10 for that 78 car this year.
By
the way, 05 has made 2 races. It's finished in the top 5 twice.
in the 5th position, might I add. Delon Rahimian with his second. Delon Rahimian actually finished second to Anderson. This is the second time this year we've had Anderson and Rahimian 1-2.
So the top 10 today: Max Anderson, Delon Ebrahimian, Tristan Wilhoit, Will Lewis, Amy Shelley, Mark George, James Qualls, Time Pollard, Stephen Pollard third, and Mary Shelley. That actually made it 4 points. The pitting late actually made it a 4-point differential between the 08 and the 7.
They finished right next to each other. How ironic.
So they were needing. I think I said it was 7 points. Yeah. So, unfortunately for Mary, not going to actually
race.
clinch her spot in the chase today, but she'll be able to do that probably pretty easily next week. Gentlemen, your final thoughts on this one?
That was a very interesting race. Anderson, man, like I said, he's won 3 cup races and 3 road courses. The Hooters win was at Canada last year. That's what I'm referencing to. Anderson's been amazing at the road courses. Besides Thornton, worst finish at 13th at Afinion. What is that? 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and then that 13th place finish. Ebrahimian, I don't know if that's ever happened with the same drivers finish 1-2 to each other in a season. We'll have to check that out. Tristan Wilhoit third, got so close to that win. Needs to make the chase with a win, but came up short. The 05 car, the miracle run, still continues. We're going to have to check that car is legal. Pollard, Stephen Pollard, first time they both got a top 10 in the same race. Alexander Rowe, great rebound for Rowe after having a miserable DNQ. Steve got 18th. So I think Jeffrey White's going to pull away from the 12 as we'll look at the bottom real quick. Tim Randolph, heartbreak. Jessica, that's not going to help her as she's going to drop in the standings a little bit. Derek Hamble had a bad run. And Keiderman 29th. It looks like Gardner's chase hopes are done to the delight of Austin LeBlanc. So next weekend, we got 2 races to go to the chase. We got about, 185 times 2 is about 370 or something like 390 or something like that. So we got about 2 races left. We got Texas and Richmond. Last year, we saw Kyle Matthews fly down the front stretch, and we saw our fuel mileage finish. And then Richmond, Kev Shear almost won, so you know that's going to be a shit show. So who knows who's going to make the chase at this rate, and I'm looking forward to it. What do you think, Austin?
I think you just used up my time. Okay, I was expecting more
about?
bigger lap, but that's fine. I enjoyed it. Riverside produced a very interesting race itself. Thankfully, there was no issue of pitting, even though sort of a few issue for some drivers. But yeah, hope you're all stay
the
safe.
issues late wasn't an issue with pit lane.
Hope you all stay safe for the rest of the year. This year, if you're watching in 2020, otherwise, hope that 2021 is much better than this year. And yeah, Happy New Year!
One last point to tribute to Kobe Bryant, one of the best basketball players. Even though in 2008 we crushed the Lakers with the Boston Celtics, but Kobe still is the best player. So rest in peace to him. Basketball is not going to be the same without him.
True. Worth mentioning on the pit lane stuff, though, for this one, at least the positive to this one was really the pit lane issues that we would have had, if you want to call them issues, was more due to the pit strategy with pitting early. Either way, though, congrats to Max Anderson on his season-leading 3rd win of the year, the first driver to get to 3 wins in 2008. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing-related content. Leave a comment down below if you weren't watching in the premiere chat with us, or leave a comment anyway just because it helps the channel out anyway, no matter what, with more engagement. Either way, for Stephen Paul III and Austin LeBlanc, I'm Gordon Fain 291, and this has been a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll Well, Lewis, you're running the 75 next year.